we're just rounding off the fact that he's going to be okay. It's now a little late for me to not be worried about whether he's going to be okay. In a little bit, we're going to go over the concussion protocol, about whether he had the concussion protocol that he has to still get through in order to be proclaimed ready to play. And it's a lot more stringent than you think. And so I don't know if Sirianni is not commenting on it because he's not ready, or he's not commenting on it because he knows he's ready and he just doesn't want to give any competitive advantage to the opposition. But I'm worried. A lot of people aren't. Ray, Bill, they're not worried. I don't think they beat the Packers if Jalen Hurts does not play. That's my biggest worry.
I agree with you on that point. If Jalen doesn't play, I don't think they win the game. But I'm still pretty confident that he's going to play this week, and that once he gets on the practice field tomorrow, we're going to hear after that he's cleared, and this will be a moot point by Thursday.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
I hope you're right. If it's a moot point by Thursday, I'll go, I gave you worry for no reason. And I'll apologize to the people for putting them through worry.
However, there's another worry that is associated with it.
What's that?
That he hasn't practiced in a couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
There's the rust factor.
Yeah.
He only played 5 minutes against Washington. Obviously didn't play against the Cowboys or the Giants. And he hasn't practiced since that Washington game.
I see where you're going with this. Green Bay gets out to a 10-0 lead, and all of a sudden they're rusty and it takes a while for them to get their legs. How much can they then dominate the game with their running game?
That could be the concern. And I think he's going to be fine, assuming he gets a full week of practice. This guy's been playing football his entire life. 2 weeks shouldn't change that. But that is a valid concern of fans. I don't think the valid concern is McKay or Pickett has to win this game. I think the more valid concern is Jalen going to be a little bit rusty if the Packers decide we're going to take away the run, we're going to try to load the box. Now, no team's been really able to do that successfully, but if they make that decision in this football game, and now you have to rely on Jalen beating you with his arm, which he showed he can do, but is he a little bit rusty in that area? That would be a valid concern.
There's a lot of people like to do this quarterback-coach matchup, the playoffs. Yeah, this team has this quarterback, that coach. Does your team have the better? So let's just play that out for silliness. Sirianni Hurts versus LaFleur Love.
This is tough, man, because you look at Matt LaFleur. He's got a .670 career winning percentage in the regular season. Sirianni's at .706, both extremely good. LaFleur's 3-4 in the playoffs. Sirianni's 2-3. But LaFleur hasn't won a playoff game outside of the wild card round last year to the Cowboys since 2020. So I think if we're looking at the coaches, as good of a coach as Matt LaFleur is, if we're just basing it off of recent success, I think I got to give the edge to Sirianni once I dove into these numbers. And the same thing for Jalen Hurts.
I'm shocked that it took you that long.
Well,
to get to Sirianni.
I think LaFleur's a really good coach.
Ray, let me ask you this, since you're a big Love fan. Is Love higher on your list than Hurts?
Go to the other part of that pairing, you'll get the reason why I'd probably take the Packers duo.
Because of LaFleur.
Yeah.
You think there's a bigger gap between LaFleur and Sirianni, and maybe Love and Hurts is a wash for you?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you say it's a wash, because I know you like Love.
But I also really like Hurts.
Okay.
So looking at their records, Jalen Hurts, 46-20 in his career, 2-3 in the playoffs. Jordan Love, 18-15 in his career, 1-1 in the playoffs. This season, Jordan Love averaged 226 a game. Really didn't run the ball, had like 4 yards a game, 5 yards a game. Jalen, 194 yards per game in the air, and you add on 42 yards per game on the ground, and he's got 32 total touchdowns. I think you got to give the edge to Jalen just based off of their track record.
All right. It's 1 o'clock. You're listening to WPEN and WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. All right. Before we get back to the phones, before we get into the text board, earlier in the show, we talked about the concussion protocol. A lot of people just know those two words, concussion protocol. They don't really know what goes into the concussion protocol and what these players actually have to pass through in order to be declared ready to play. So let's dig into what Jalen Hurts is currently going through. Bill Colarulo doing us the honors.
Okay, this is the concussion protocol on the NFL.com website. So phase 1, symptom-limited activity. Basically, they don't let him do anything. I think we'll all agree he's outside of that phase. Phase 2, aerobic exercise. Under direct oversight of the team's medical staff, the player should begin a graduated...
All right, what is that, treadmill?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Graduated cardiovascular exercise. So let's assume he's out of that. Number 3, the third phase, football-specific exercise. He's allowed to participate in sport-specific exercise for 30 minutes or less.
Throwing the football to a teammate for 15, running side to side, and releasing the ball on the run, stuff like that.
I believe so.
Okay.
Because then in phase 4, it talks about the player continues the cardiovascular, they continue the strength and balance training, the team-based sport-specific, but then they also can now participate in non-contact football activities, and the example it gives here is the throwing, catching, and running.
Okay.
So phase 4 is probably throwing the football.
Okay.
Now, we know that Jalen was at the walkthrough on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It was reported that he did some activity. We don't know the full extent. So there's a chance he's out of phase 4. There's a chance he's still in phase 4. But for him to fully clear the concussion protocol, that means you got to get to phase 5, which is essentially a full practice, and you don't have any issues following the full practice.
And that will happen tomorrow?
Correct.
Okay.
That's the hope. The hope is he practices in full.
He practices tomorrow. Thursday, announce he's ready to go.
That is the hope. That is the expectation.
Right. I'm a little worried. Let's go back to the phones. Ryan in the Northeast. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ryan.
What's going on, guys? Mike,
you,
I agree with you on zucchini. Zucchini.
Totally overrated. Really. Yeah. Now I make it with a little a homemade tomato sauce with a little onion, garlic sautéed, and that's how I have my zucchini. Otherwise, it's useless.
Although I do like the flour, zucchini flour.
Yeah. See, I don't understand the zucchini flour. I really do. I know they dip it in a batter, they fry it up. Zucchini flour. It's an Italian thing.
Yeah, it was nice up the street when we were at the Italian parish. Miss Carini used to make them.
Yeah.
She'd fry them up and give them
the flour does nothing for me, but I get it. I know a lot of people have made the flour.
So I was talking to another host, and he pretty much convinced me that Notre Dame's going to win resoundingly, is what I was told at night on your station.
Oh, is that Kevin Cooney?
I don't want to mention names.
Well, of course. Kevin Cooney is Mr. Notre Dame for reasons that are unclear to me. Like his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was an Irish fan, and so it filtered that through. That's a good reason.
He was pretty convincing as to why we should be Notre Dame fans.
Well, first of all, he's convincing. He's a fool because it's going to be a close game. I just think that Notre Dame is just a tad better than Penn State in this particular situation because Penn State does not have the wide receivers that can really define a game against a really good defense.
Agreed. I do think the Eagles have a shot.
A shot to do what? He evaporated. Well, of course they have a shot. They're favored if Hurts plays. And if he doesn't play, I would think it would be a pick 'em. So a lot of people would still think they'd be able to win with a backup quarterback.
I don't know. I would think if Hurts doesn't play, I think the Packers would be favored.
Really?
Yeah. That's a tough ask, man.
Well,
the Packers are a good team.
They got a home field advantage. That's why I said, again, the benefit of the doubt, I'll go as low as a pick 'em. Let's go to John in Delaware. John, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. John.
Mike, so you haven't tried grilling the zucchini with a little barbecue sauce?
Yeah, I do that, but it's bland. It's like the zucchini. And I'll tell you something else. Eggplant is overrated. I've grilled both of them. I get it. You have to have some kind of sauce on it. They're tasteless.
Right. But here's the thing. Like, if you're really into health and nutrition, you can fill up on the zucchini, right? Because for people that like to eat, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. It doesn't, to me, it's overrated.
it's a little overrated, but it has the value that, like peas, right?
I love peas.
Love peas, right? I eat peas with everything.
I love peas.
Little pea soup.
I'm a big pea fan.
Peas with burger and ketchup? Bet you haven't tried that.
Peas with burger and what?
Ketchup.
Burger? What do you mean burger?
A burger instead of the bread. See, it's kind of like a vegan thing, but you cheat and have some meat once in a while.
Wait.
Right?
You can't say that's a vegan thing and you put a burger on
You
it
put the peas on top of a hamburger and put ketchup on top of that?
and call it vegan.
The hell's that? That sounds like a mess to me.
I'm not calling it vegan. I'm just saying, when you have a vegan diet, but you cheat and have some burger, and you save the carbs.
Yeah, I get the saving of the carbs. I don't get the peas over the burger with ketchup. But then move on with your Jalen Hurts point here, John.
All right, well, he's not going to have to throw a whole lot anyway. He throws 20 times a game, blah, blah, blah. The being rusty, right, he's not all that accurate anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. I think the bigger deal is you bet the game now, you can get 4.5, right, with the Packers. Then if they announce he doesn't play.
So you would bet the Packers.
Oh, yeah, I'd take the 4.5 all day long right now. Right? But then when the line moves, then you go with the Eagles.
Yeah, suppose it doesn't move and Hurts plays. And then you're screwed because the Eagles win the game. More than 4.5.
Yeah, they're still not going to cover 4.5.
All right. Let me play Give Me 3 with you. Baltimore Ravens. Give me 3 Ravens that stick out in your head.
Oh, my gosh. That can't play now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Ray Lewis?
Yeah, pretty good one.
Joe Flacco?
That's a good one.
Jamal Lewis?
That's not bad. Jamal Lewis is excellent. They're three, that I would say that they're the A answers that he just gave.
No.
What?
You're missing a Hall of Famer.
Who?
Ed Reed.
Oh, Ed Reed. Oh, you can't do wrong, though, with Ray Lewis, Joe Flacco, and Jamal Lewis.
No,
Come
they're
on,
good.
man.
But Ed Reed, I think, has got to be on the list.
You think?
It's a Hall of Famer.
Over a quarterback and a running back?
Flacco's not a Hall of Fame guy. I know he's a local guy.
Super Bowl winner.
Audubon's own.
610-632-0975 back after this.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Appreciate you guys checking out things with the Mike Missanelli Show. If you want more from us, check out the playlist right here to get this one. Check out all the playlists. There's a lot to watch.